party that we were at, there was maybe like 5 zombies.
Damn, at a house party.
There was a whole lot of zombies.
Okay, so tell me, what's your news?
Well, the reason why I ask is because an organization in Ohio, in the university in Ohio, of students, they've come together to kind of protest some costumes that they think are racially charged and are racist and offensive. So they started this campaign.
Here the sensitives are. Okay.
They started this campaign that's called "Wear a Culture, Not a Costume," and it's like basically a poster campaign. And they have all these images. Like there's an image of this guy who's Mexican and he's holding up the costume of like a poncho and the like big hat, and then there's another Asian girl who's holding up the costume of a geisha, and there's a Middle Eastern man who's holding up a costume of like a terrorist or an Arabic prince. So what do you think about this? Do you think they're being overly sensitive? Do you think that they have any?
I think that there's a spectrum, right, of what's appropriate. Of course, anybody should dress up as whatever they want, and I think it only reflects, you know, their personality, and if they do something really ignorant, then it's on them. You know what I mean? If you are walking around, I don't believe in these organizations raising awareness. I don't know. I think that makes the opposite effect. I think I think that people that feel like, well, I think all Muslims are terrorists. I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna dress. Don't tell me how to dress.
Yeah.
I think that these type of things achieve the opposite effect.
Yeah.
You know? But I think there's definitely a spectrum of what's appropriate and what's not, you know? The terrorist thing, I think it's on the bad idea spectrum, you know? Whether if it's offensive or no, it depends on the person. I would understand why somebody would get offended. Okay, if that's the case. The Mexican hat and the poncho, hell no. How is that offensive?
You know, me personally, I'm Mexican, and I don't really find it too offensive.
Exactly.
I saw not this year, but maybe like a few years ago, I saw this Asian guy that was dressed as a mariachi, and I thought he did an awesome job.
Exactly,
yeah.
And the geisha, I would love to. I mean, I would love to see a girl dressed as a sexy geisha. You know, I don't know. I think in partly is like this group of intellectuals who always like, they always love to express their opinion so much that they find these things to like, you know, criticize and so that they can feel like, oh, you know, you just don't understand, you know, you're just being ignorant. Like, oh, come on, relax, man.
Yeah,
don't be so sensitive.
I agree with you. I think that different costumes come with different connotations, and there's some that, you know.
Now what do you think about my costume 2 years ago?
What was it?
I was a Mexican. No. I was a Mexican with a poncho, right? I'm about to say, don't say anything. Yeah. A sombrero with a poncho, a mask, you know, one of those like breathing masks, whatever that people put.
The medical one?
The medical one. Latex gloves, and a sign that said swine flu patient 0. And a little piggy on wheels that I would like carry.
A little piggy on wheels? Oh my God.
Don't tell me that's not funny. That's really funny.
How do people react to that? Because see, that's one of those where you're kind of pushing some buttons there.
A few people were offended. I still don't know how to feel. I think that at the moment I thought it was extremely funny. You know what I mean? Now people really know me. Understand that, you know, I don't really, you know, I'm completely against the stereotype, the demonization of Mexicans that happened during that time. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I thought it was really funny. And maybe in a little bit offensive way, but I don't know. Relax, man. Come on, relax.
I have my cousin's boyfriend. He purposely tries to like push buttons and wants to like, you know, get a reaction or rise out of people. So this year, what he dressed up as was he bought like this Arabic prince costume that he found like at the costume store, and then he bought like this huge fake gun, and he was like purposely like
yeah, you see, that's different.
A terrorist.
I think the negative stereotypes are different than just dressing up as a geisha or dressing up as a Mexican with a poncho and a bigotes, you know. I don't find that offensive. Like, Mexican or dressing up as a cholo, you know, as a Chicano cholo. I don't find that offensive as well. You know what I mean? Or the Chicano, you know, like East LA. Yeah, the East LA. And some people find that offensive. I don't think that's offensive at all.
You know, I dressed up this year. Por primera vez, for the first time in like 5 years.
Really,
Mr. Burns?
I still got my costume here.
What
were you?
I was part of the Occupy movement.
What is this?
I had a picket sign that said "Fuck Wall Street."
That was my costume. You were broke.
I was on BART like this. I'm like, yeah, I'm dressed up, of course.
That's all you did.
You were broke.
That's a cheap. I get it. You probably win in one of those contests. So yeah, I don't think that it depends. It depends.
Yeah.
I think the terrorist thing could be
was a little bit much. I was like, whoa, like really? And he's already thinking of like his next offensive costume. Next year he wants to like dress in all black and put a sign that says illegal alien and wear an alien mask.
Okay,
and I'm
that's
like,
funny.
oh god.
I think that's funny.
So that one's funny,
right?
I think that was pretty offensive.
But it's funny.
But it's funny though. I don't think it's offensive though.
It could be offensive but funny.
Well, especially
You get
in
a pass if it's
You
funny.
can. I think you can ridiculize those type of ideas too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? By doing it, you kind of making fun of
fun of yourself. I guess
Making
but
fun of the stereotype.
well, for me, like I find it offensive because I mean, obviously, he's trying to like, get a rise out of people and maybe make a statement. But the fact, like, even just the movement towards dropping the word illegal and not calling anyone illegal, that's where I would be like, I wouldn't really want to like support it. Just thinking of a bigger picture. So.
Yeah, but it goes with the costume,
I know it goes
alien,
with the costume, but that is why I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I
That
feel
is
like
why
it's
I wouldn't
okay. So, I put a post on Facebook that said, "Why do men feel the need to like dress as females?" Right?
Yeah.
And I personally I posted that, but not because I didn't like it, I disliked it, or as a way to criticize, but really to understand the reason behind it. You know what I mean? Because I was like, it almost seemed to me like part of the reason will be that you're exploring something there.
Probably.
So and I'm sorry, maybe I'm being homophobic. Maybe
it's a one day when you can't be judged for it. So it's like, well, I'm gonna,
Exactly, and almost eager to do it. It's not like you're doing a bet, like somebody, if you lose, you're gonna dress as a woman on Halloween. No, they choose to do that. Like both my friends last year dressed as women.
Oh,
One
really?
was a life safeguard.
A lifeguard?
A lifeguard. And the other one was a tooth fairy.
A tooth fairy.
Yeah, but it was just weird. But the people's reaction was funny because of course there was somebody, people that will react in a way that I think will be too like sensitive, that's because I like the objectification of gender identities and all that. Oh, okay, all right, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like these type of things are you can't be going around, looking for things to criticize all the time. I mean, some things, but I think that you understand that there's a line, you know what I mean, where people really mean to be offensive and
or
not
just having fun.
Dressing up as a girl, I think it could be fun. I mean, it was definitely funny a lot of the times, seeing a big ass man with a big belly and freaking titties. I mean, that,
Yeah.
it is funny, and I don't think he's making fun of any women in particular, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Well, back to the music.
You look like you want to move on. So let's move on.